So I'm supposed to invite my fellow guests. All right. So it's my pleasure and honor to actually announce and as well to invite four very distinguished founders in Malaysia. Right. So can we have all our panelists come up? We have Matthew from Etherscan. We have Bobby from CoinGecko. We have Siong from Jupiter Exchange, and we have Shawn from Salus. So, funny thing, right? Running an event such as Malaysia Blockchain Week, being chased for questions throughout the week. So, I apologize for being late, but at the same time, refer to questions. So, we'll start off with introductions, as always. So, we'll start from Matt.
Hi, my name is Matthew Tang, and I'm the CEO and founder of Etherscan, the blog explorer. So our mission is to provide equitable, readable blockchain data to masses. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Bobby. I'm the co-founder of CoinGecko. We run two products, CoinGecko and Gecko Terminal. We track prices, market cap information for over 3 million tokens right now. And basically we think that anything that can be tokenized will be tokenized, and there will be billions of tokens, and that's what we want to do. We want to track all these tokens.
Hi, I'm Siong from Jupiter Exchange. So Jupiter Exchange is basically an aggregator on Solana. We help people to trade. I mean, now mostly mint coins on Solana.
I am Shawn. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Salus. So we do security audit, research, as well as zero knowledge development as well. So currently doing mostly Solidity on Solana audits, probably maintaining the zero security incidents, which is really rare to find in the crypto space. Thank you.
Right. So don't be fooled by the accents yet. They are all Malaysians. And that is the reason why we even wanted to have a panel such as this, because I think one thing that it's not in the list of questions, guys, so hear me out. So you guys, I think every single one of you have been mistaken for a company that was founded at our neighboring country. True or false?
True. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know Matthew was Malaysian. We thought Etherscan is an American company, and I think he thinks we're the same as well, until one day we met a few years after we started a company and found out we're both Malaysians.
Siong?
I mean, my case is okay because my co-founder is Singaporean, I'm Malaysian, so it's technically half and half.
Shawn?
Actually, true. I'm Malaysian, but the company originally started in Singapore, but we struck off already.
Oh, okay. Singapore, sorry. But anyway, with that being said, right, so I think we wanted to kind of like put a spotlight on that and let everyone kind of like know that they're from Malaysia. I think, can we give them a round of applause? Right, these are platforms that are being used daily, hourly, every minute throughout the globe, guys. Right? So now, the next question is, based on the questions that I have listed, what inspired you to start it, right? Then we'll start from Shawn first, this time around, right? So because you're more of a service-based right now, so yeah, what inspired you to start it in the first place?
My crypto journey dates back to 2015. So I started out actually from community managing. And then I studied computer science and electrical engineering management. I went on to become a quant at one of the really big market-making giants now. And later on, I went on to do stuff in exchanges as well in OB back in the 2018-2019 period. I was managing the Russian market, so pretty dead if there's any Russian folks here. And later on, I found that actually security is actually a really rare resource to have like high quality, but also at the same time at affordable cost. So that's why I started this too. I want to provide everyone to protect the environment with like high quality security resource and at the same time affordable one. And then we slowly march into also ZK research as well, which is like a lot more privacy, decentralization stuff. Yeah, that's how I envision I just want to protect the environment more. Yeah, for Web3.
I like the fact that she has that like Angmo slang, right, and then she has the la at the back, right? So it's like a good mix. All right, so Siong, the meme coin land now.
I started on Solana, or crypto a while back, but only started working on it, I would say like 4 or 5 years ago. Then before on Jupiter, I was working on different protocol on Solana as well. So technically 4 or 5 years at this point on Solana. Yeah, like then prior to that, it was like in US, like working on different startups. I actually met you in one of the incubator he was at. Like Boost, yeah, like 15 years ago, like 10 years ago, something like that.
Dropping ages now. So, but why a DEX?
It's just an opportunity that we saw at that point because Solana was up and coming. At that point, most people were still trading at Ethereum. But if you look at the gas cost at that point, it was like, now it's like now it was at like 1,400, 1,500. Every single trade you have to do on Ethereum costs like, sometimes it can cost up to like $100. At that point, it wasn't obvious for a lot of people that it's just a lot easier to use Solana to trade and all this thing. And at that point, there's no aggregator on Solana, so we just decided to build one. Yeah.
Nice, okay. So, how about Bobby?
CoinGecko is 10 years old right now. So, got into crypto in 2013, fresh out of uni back then. Thought that, maybe this could be something big. Kind of too young to take part in the tech industry, but in the crypto industry at the right age. Want to build something, but they want to move to the US in the rally. So what could we build out of Malaysia? There weren't a lot of ideas back then. Ethereum wasn't even a thing. There was no smart contract platforms. There was only Bitcoin and proof of work coins. And we thought that everyone wanted to build an exchange, but we weren't really keen on building an exchange. We weren't really keen on running a mining farm either. We thought that a data platform could work. So started to build something. We wanted to trade some coins. I wanted to get some information that weren't really easily available. I guess the barriers to entry were much lower back then. Websites were so badly designed back in 2013, 2014 that I gave them the opportunity to build and to kind of track crypto prices, market cap information. For us, we are blockchain agnostic, exchange agnostic, so kind of track the overall growth of the crypto ecosystem as a whole.
Yeah, I think when I first started my journey in crypto, CoinGecko was the first thing that was introduced to me, aside from MetaMask, right? I still remember my co-founder was like, you need to learn how to use a wallet, and then this is where you check if the coins are scammed. So that's kind of like the mantra for me when I started out like 3 years ago. So I'm pretty young in the scene, but yeah. So how about Matt?
So I've been building Etherscan since 2015, so it's close to 9 years. My journey actually started in 2011. So I think back in 2011, I heard of Bitcoin. So I know you download a piece of software, put it on your machine, let it run, and you earn some points, right? So it didn't really mean a lot back then until it's one of the things that you have to experience its real world usage. So I think it was end of 2011, right? I think there was this game that was being released that was called Minecraft. So Minecraft was released in end of 2011, the full version, right? So back then in Malaysia, right, you couldn't actually buy the game, but there were a couple of folks, right, online in a forum called Bitcoin Talk. So they were actually selling coupon codes for the game. So I actually spent 1.1 Bitcoin, which in today's terms is you would probably buy a small condo, and paid for that coupon code. I think my son still has that game. He's running his on BCDAP account. So anyway, so I did the transaction. It was super cool. So imagine 1 a.m. in the morning, you're sitting in front of your PC. You run a piece of software on your PC back in 2011, and you're able to transmit digital money from one place in Malaysia, in Klang, and Shalam, sending it to somewhere in some folk person in US and another place, and all done decentralized, no intermediary. So I think that was my, wow, that eureka moment that you can actually do something like this. So the transaction went through, and then came the stumbling block, right? So the transaction has gone through, right? But like, how does the common man figure out what happened to the transaction? Like, where is it? So fast forward, that was the answer that I was trying to solve. This is why we build block explorers that allows you to figure out what is happening on the blockchain.
Right. So I think it's very key here, right, for all aspiring entrepreneurs or aspiring founders to know that you notice that all four of the founders here, they actually looked for a solution to a problem, right? It's not just about innovating whatever is in the space. I believe that's happening. That's what's happening here right now in the blockchain space, where someone's just taking the same thing and innovating it better and then pushing it out, right? Everyone here saw a demand, a need, and they actually built a solution for it, and that's how they became as big as they have. All right. So the next question is going to be very much more directed towards as a company, right? In Malaysia especially. So I know I'm putting you on the spot, but and as I have briefed, I want you to speak your mind, be open about it. I think, as I've just touched on it, we want to find solutions. And solutions can never be found unless we actually table the problem. All right? So now my question is this. What obstacles and what issues or stumbling blocks that you have had running a blockchain-based or crypto-based company in Malaysia? Right? Whether be it you're incorporated here or not, it doesn't matter, right? We're talking about things like taxations and the whole shebang, right? What stumbling blocks have you had? Support, and the list goes on. So I'll give you guys 2 minutes to kind of like ponder. If anyone wants to go first, just lift up your mic, right? And you can go first, but you can think a little bit because it's true. I did not tell them the question. Right, I wanted it to be cordial. I wanted it to be as transparent, as open as possible, and that is why Malaysia Blockchain Week was actually crafted. That's how it was crafted. You notice all the questions are very, very like mind stimulating. Right? So anyone that's ready can go.
I mean, I can go. I always complain about this anyway. So. I think a few different problems, right? First is incorporations. I don't think I mean, Jupiter has been around for slightly more than 3-4 years right now. We don't have any company in Malaysia until, say, like slightly more than a year ago. The reason we need to do that is because of all the banks here require our, the people who work for Jupiter. If you want to spend any money in Malaysia, you have to prove that you have a proper income statement. Actually, not proper income statement, that's not enough. Because they all have proper income statement from Singapore, but the banks require something to prove that you have income in Malaysia. I have to mention, in Malaysia. Yeah, so if you don't have any EPF statements, there's no way for you to get any loan, especially for people who want to buy a house, to live here, to get a car, to basically to do anything proper. You need to prove that. That's the only reason why we set up a company here, so that everyone who want to get a loan, they will start, like we will send money from Singapore to Malaysia, then the Malaysia company will start sending out the money to exactly. I mean, I feel like if there's I'm not sure it's a bank problem or like regulation problem, but mostly like people do want to spend money in Malaysia, but in order to spend money, they have to go through all these like obstacles to figure out how to do it. Yeah.
So, building on your whatever you just said, right? Are you aware that LHDN actually had a circular in 2022 that employers can pay employees in crypto? Are you aware?
Yes. I mean, I don't know, but we do like because of that we have to do like a mixture of both. Yeah, sometimes.
Okay. Who wants to go next?
So I can chime in and follow up from where Siong left, also for banks. So I think we didn't really have any issue with the company side. I think that was quite straightforward for us. So we actually did it as a MSC company for blockchain back in 2016. So no issues there, but I think the issues goes back against to the banking portion. So like crypto and banking, right, generally doesn't really go hand in hand. The banks due to like for I think like at least like more on data, right? So we don't really we don't sell any coins and stuff like that. It's just pure banking in terms of receiving payments from clients. Even that's actually kind of tricky. I think whenever anything is intermixed with crypto, right, it's normally flagged as high risk. So like even keeping a bank account is actually quite a challenge.
I'm going to like admit I was a victim as well.
Everyone here is a digital solution provider.
Yeah, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, banks are challenging. I mean, they have very strict risk compliance teams, and then they bucket everybody in crypto as one and the same, and then associated with FTX at high risk clients, whether for good or for bad. I mean, and some banks just don't even want to talk. They just exclude you altogether out, and some they may be a bit open to having a conversation. I mean, service providers. Not just that, I think insurance as well is not easy to source for DNO directors and officers insurance, cybersecurity insurance. I mean, when you hear crypto, like just straight out, no, I mean, not the easiest thing to source. I think just talking to people, I think maybe not so much these days, but in the early days, like, I mean, VCs didn't even understand crypto as well. I mean, I spoke to a few VCs and all, they didn't get crypto, they don't understand blockchain. I guess that's one of the reasons why we didn't fundraise at all. I mean, we spoke to a few and they didn't understand, like, we're done, right? We just went along and just bootstrap all the way, and now we don't need VCs. But yeah, I mean, it comes with all new industries. I mean, people don't know how to interpret it and how to make sense of the different ways of doing things. So that's one of the challenges here.
I always term this whenever I go out. I always say this, right? I feel that Malaysian stance as a government, right? I think we are over-regulating, and it's not wrong. It's not wrong, right? I think the government's duty is to protect the investors, whether be it retail, whether it's a high profile, whatever it may be. Banking, I think it's a little bit more on the AML, right? Anti-Money Laundering Act, kind of like preventions. But over-regulation is a form of action, right? Especially in the nascent industry, and I'm not for it. Neither am I against it, right? I feel that it's just a decision that Malaysia has taken. Thailand has got their own set of problems, all right? Philippines has them, Singapore has them, everyone has them because it's too new of an industry that everyone is still just trying to navigate through it, right? So, Shawn, you wanna chime in like on the same question, like?
Because I think I'm the least qualified person to talk about this because I spent a big portion of my career abroad. Only really came back to Malaysia approximately like 2 years ago, and I just started to do all this like incorporating process. So I figure I'll run into most of these obstacles later on, but we'll see.
Right. So is that the only obstacle that you have have been through? Like is it just purely on the banking side, or is there anything that you guys want to bring up? But it's okay if you don't want to say anything.
I mean, there's all kind of challenges and obstacles. I mean, it goes without saying, running a company is not easy whether you're running in Malaysia or Singapore or US or anywhere. I mean, there's the standard stuff. I mean, like finding product market fit, you know, you got to get that to the stage, you know, finding your users, growing in a sustainable manner, you know, your cost of acquisition being lower than your long-term value. All those things are challenges. You know, hiring the right people, especially hard when you are a small nobody. I mean, we faced that at the start. Like, you know, nobody wanted to join the crypto industry. I mean, if you open a newspaper and search crypto, the only thing that comes out was Silk Road and use of the drug trade back in the early days. Like, who would want to join crypto? I mean, now it's sexy, right? I mean, you have Bitcoin ETFs and all. I mean, the financial professionals are all in the crypto space. But back in the early days, it wasn't easy. But it's still the same thing. Like, I mean, if you want to find good talent to join a company, and it's the same for all, I'm sure it's the same for everybody. You have to work hard to find these people to bring to your company. They may be comfortable in their existing jobs, or they may be in some of the companies, so it's hard to find the right talent. I mean, that's just rigors of running a company.
All right, then that brings me to my segue, right? to Malaysian talents, right? I know for a fact that you guys have got a lot of like Malaysians working for your companies as well, right? So maybe I can get Matthew to kind of like start first, right? Malaysian talents, quality, I mean, we don't have quantity, that's for sure. I mean, versus population sizes, in terms of comparison, we do not have the volume. But in terms of quality, what do you see like coming up in the next few years, or what you have seen in the past few years? Why Malaysian? Why and how like maybe there are project founders here from abroad that's here to scout for talents, and I want to kind of like give them a little bit of a platform, Malaysian talents, to kind of like have that opportunity as well. So maybe shine some light on it, whatever that you've noticed.
So to answer your question, right, the answer to that question is double-edged, right? So there are founders here also looking for teammates, so eventually that will end up eating that small pool of market talent. But jokes aside, so obviously I am Malaysian, right? So and being Malaysian, it was very natural to just do it here, right? We raised money abroad, brought the money back from Silicon Valley, right? And decided to build a company here. So in terms of talent, right? I might be biased, but I think Malaysia definitely has talent. Maybe it's more of sourcing their talent. And in terms of numbers, I say no, we definitely have a larger population than Singapore. So obviously in terms of numbers, you have their raw numbers. But once again, it's finding the right talent. Like what Bobby said just now, so like crypto now blockchain crypto kind of sounds sexy right now, but you know, it's just a couple of years ago back, right? Crypto was a dirty word. So like any reputable developer back a couple of years wouldn't want to be associated with it. So the first thoughts are not to scam and something weird and stuff like that. So obviously it's much more accepted today. Again, in terms of talent, I think we have the talent. There are a lot of good, smart, bright, hardworking folks. I think it's only an issue of like, how do you find that talent? So I think that's more of the challenge, not so much of whether or not there is talent.
So it's a general problem, isn't it? Like what Bobby has mentioned, it doesn't matter if you're a traditional business or whether it's in the crypto scene, right? It's always tough, right? I also have that same problem, whether be it in my previous endeavor or currently. Finding good help is hard to get, right? So, like Siong, on your end, right? Like, is there a good balance you see that we can kind of like produce from Malaysia in terms of like the talents side of things, and also on top of that, what do you have to say to inspire more people to kind of like jump into the industry? I know it's like sexy and everything, but it's still a dirty word in Malaysia, so to speak, because of all the headlines.
I think people now worry more about like, you know, the bear bull market of the crypto nature, right? A lot of people worry more about like whether the company is sustainable or not, because you know price can go up like whatever X multiples, then go down like 99%, like in a few days, right? So most of the time it's just like reassuring new talents, like you know, like okay, we have the treasury to pay you through any like bear cycle to make sure that like you are okay. You don't have to worry about that. I think that's the number one questions I'm getting at right now. Actually, they are right. A lot of people do want to learn about crypto right now. They do want to work in the crypto industry, and the good thing about it is like I feel like a lot. The talents are more and more right now because their prior company, they are building up the talents. You know, like Etherscan, CoinGecko, and we also have Grab. In Malaysia, we also have like, you know, like some other foreign company who are setting up their engineering arm here, like Money Lion. We also have like SIG. All these people are like, you know, they are talents, they are engineering talents that who have been working with, you know, their counterparty in US and also like in Europe as well. And they are very good. They are very good. Yeah. The only problem is just like getting them out from there and you know, working with us. Yeah.
Got it. So Shawn, you mentioned that you are largely abroad, right? And you recently came back. What's the clear, distinct difference? Whatever you've seen out there, I know for a fact that you stay half the year away from Malaysia anyway, right? What have you seen out there, right? Be it in China, whether in the States, here. What's the comparison?
Comparison, I would say, well, I'm gonna say I'm mostly in West Coast, in San Francisco or LA. Of course, like San Francisco, like there are a lot more like VCs around, the grinding culture there, so and so on. It's easier to like get connected to like also super talented people. In Malaysia, I think, so to give an example, so the reason why I came back to Malaysia is because that I am bullish on Malaysian future, Malaysian and Malaysia. And when I started coming back, and then because aside from Salus, I'm also a VC, so I run a VC with my wife, P Cartel. So we invest in a lot of like projects from the States, from Europe, and then every time after I invest, I will invite them to Malaysia. And then when I brought them here, first of all, everything was cool. They loved it, and then they loved the people here as well. And then I started to like, introduce them some of like not too much, but like introduce some Malaysian like talent for them. None of them has any problem with them. They all love the Malaysian talents, whether it's from the operation side, marketing side, community side. I'm actually surprised that actually a lot of like community managers around the world, the product side, are actually Malaysian. Yeah. So I think like Malaysia definitely got a lot of talent. They have lots of this, no matter it's a language thing or like we are acting as a bridge of the East and the West, and then as well as the neutral position. I think it's easier for us to like, know what they're doing and then like adapt into those like different cultures because we also live in a really multi-racial country, different cultures. Yeah, so I think like that's one of the biggest difference I would say. And then definitely trying to get more of these like founders into Malaysia. So I'm not sure if Victor is here, so Manta Network. So the founder of Manta, I successfully bait him into Malaysia, so he's now staying in the same area with me. And then there's a few more that I project and invested. I'm trying to, in the process, some of them that come October or November. And yeah, I'm trying to bring all of these people in, and then try to push some of the Malaysian talent into their project as well. Yeah.
Hello. Okay. So basically, you're trying to boost the ecosystem up in Malaysia, right? So I love that the fact that you're a VC, you brought up funding, and that is like perfect. I'm gonna put you on the table right now. VC environment. I don't even want to say Malaysia because I'm running a VC LP event right next door, right? So I know how hard it is in Malaysia, right? Bobby also brought up about it earlier just now, right? And Matt, you had to go and race all the way from the States. So let's talk about Southeast Asia, okay? Because Malaysia has no market in the VC arena yet. Thoughts on that? How can we prop ourselves up to move forward? I've had very interesting discussions with Cradle, by the way.
In terms of the VC space, so what I think is that, so if you look at not just the state and also the China side, so even though China now kind of like banned the crypto stuff, right? But actually a lot of people, they are still running the business there. Or like they move out of China, actually a lot came to Malaysia, Singapore, Dubai, some go to the States. And I think a lot of the Malaysian talents are actually holding like important position within different like big projects like the giants as well. So once more of these like Malaysian are found and then they are accepted like worldwide as well, I think that's the way like people can realize that actually Malaysia is like a gem. Like I think like it's half discovered already because a lot, at least from my side, a lot of people that love Malaysia, they come to Malaysia. And so supporting and also cooperating with these different VCs to set up like a GP LP factory here. But I think like the regulation part is another question, which is that something I'm not familiar with because like my VC mainly operates in the US as well as like basically overseas lah. So I'm not sure if there's any problem of like doing all this like VC structure in Malaysia, the taxing thing and stuff like that. So I think that's the part where we have to also let the foreigners, foreign VC to understand as well if they want to come in, set up things like here. So that's the biggest problem I think.
Okay, so perfect, because just later on during the VC LP matching event, MAVCAP is coming to discuss and also to kind of like let you guys know how funds will be able to deploy in Malaysia. We're talking about golden visas, we're talking about incorporations, even dependents can come in, etc., etc., etc. There are initiatives by the government already. Right, it was announced